Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So I touched base briefly in my last video that I got these Elehear over-the-counter hearing aids from their website. These are the Elehear Beyond, not the Pro. They're the more affordable version. Overall, I really like them. There's a lot of things I love. There's a lot of things I don't, but more good things than bad. Type-C charging on the side there. A little bit of grip on the bottom. Physical pairing button on the side. And then that activates the charging, so it charges in the case, much like your regular earbuds. Love that because I think the Pros don't have a charging battery inside. You have to have it physically plugged in all the time. I could be wrong, but I know there are hearing aids that are like that. So these are the devices themselves right here, the left and the right. I like that they have red and blue on the sides to help you decipher the sides a little bit faster. Volume controls on the top of each one, microphone input. So I do like that. These are all the tips that it comes with. I really only like two of them. The stock ones right here. Sorry, my table's disgusting. These are the regular domes that are not open, they're closed. And then my second favorite ones, actually, I don't see them. Are they these ones? I think they might be these ones that are about the same size, and then they do have holes in them, so they're kind of an open back design. Definitely notice a difference in all of them. I can hear a lot more outside noise with the ones with holes, obviously, and so the closed ones are more isolating, obviously. This one I tried is a little bit bigger, too big, but I tried making a filter out of Scotch tape to try and replicate something like my custom earbuds. But that was just not quite working. I think I tried with other materials too and just wasn't quite doing the trick, or it would just, I could hear the paper crackling around in my ear, and that was just not great. These didn't come with it. These are just from other earplugs, and they didn't fit on there, but I combined it with one of these really itty-bitty tiny ones that are basically useless for me, but it did kind of stack in there okay, and it was a secure fit. More isolating experience, I guess, but it was just kind of an experiment. Yeah, I tried all of these ones. The really itty-bitty ones are tiny. I don't know anybody that would have ear canals that small, but obviously there are people. These ones are a little bit interesting. I think they call them like the tulip design or something, just the way they kind of look like tulips, like flower petals. So it came with a Type-C charger, and also came with these replacement little earwax filter thingies that go on the end of there. I've already chewed up a couple, forcing them in and out of my custom earplugs, but at least they give you a lot of spares, and they're easy to swap out. These aren't the most low-profile thing in the world, but they're really not that bad. Especially if you're a person with larger ears like myself. I'm not self-conscious of them really at all because of their size anyways. The fact that they're a hearing aid, that's another thing. But even still, they're really comfortable to wear. They're more comfortable, lighter than wearing filtered musician earplug all day, so that's also a plus. At work, there's been a lot more new sounds that I've been struggling to deal with, so having a little bit lighter ear protection in addition to the white noise I'm listening to has been helpful. So I've been digging that. I do kind of wish the case was a little bit smaller. I feel like they could have made it smaller. It's like, look at that thing. It's massive. It's like the size of a bar of soap, for crying out loud. And that gives you a giant area for storage, I guess. I don't know. One thing I do like about it is I can fit my my little turkeys in. Yeah, both of these will fit in there when they're plugged into my hearing aids. Barely, but they do, shockingly. So that's kind of cool. I was just kind of keeping a baggie of all the different ear tips inside of there, but I don't really need to do that anymore. So they also have really good battery life, too. Wanted to throw that out there before I start mentioning the negative stuff. We're inside the app right now. They're connected. It takes a couple seconds for them to connect to the app every time, which I do need to do in order to turn the microphone off because I don't want sound amplification, having hyperacusis. I did take their little online test to test your hearing, and it I don't know. I did it a couple times, and it said I was having some hearing trouble in a couple areas, but also I couldn't have the volume up maybe as loud as needed to, so I don't know how accurate that really was. I have tried it with a little bit of amplification just to experiment. Obviously not a huge fan of that. But anyways, we're in the app, and there's actually quite a bit of features in here. It's kind of cool. You have the mic on, off, or auto. I usually just leave it off, but when it is on, that opens up more features. You can adjust the volume independently or all in one on there. And I don't know if you just heard that beep. Probably not, but that is my biggest problem. Every time you turn them on, it's got the stereotypical Bluetooth sounds, pairing, all that jazz. But even worse, when you max down the volume all the way or up all the volume all the way, it makes a horrible beep that hurts my ears so bad. I hate it so much. Elehear, please remove that if you can. You probably can't, but man, if you could update that in a software app, I would love you forever, because that is just so bad. I can't even describe how painful it is. You've got some tuning options here if you want to make things sound deeper or brighter. You've got a call boost button down there too, so that's good if you need all of that. It's got some white noise sounds in there. I have trouble with those too. I don't remember why. Probably because of Bluetooth sounds. So I ignore that. It's got some AI support that I don't care about either. Anywho, so now things are going to get a little bit more complicated. This is what I remedied to try and avoid accidentally turning the volume all the way up or down, because it's easier to do more than you might think. Inside Samsung modes routines, I created this thing where when the Bluetooth is connected right up here, the top one, it'll launch the Elehear app. Okay, that's nice. It saves me a step. I still have to manually turn the mute button on, but at least I don't have to, manually turn on the app. Okay, and then let's see. Oh, and then I've got it programmed to, open the app there, and then also open this third-party app called Volume Limiter 2, which basically puts a limit on the max volume and the minimum volume. So that saves my ears. It makes it almost impossible for me to turn it all the way down. I use the Pink Noise app to also autoplay, and I just I can adjust the volume there to make that more comfortable. So I have to use like other party apps to adjust the volume. This wouldn't be necessary if the Elehear app was much better. So yeah, it's helpful. It launches like in a dual window. So I've got the Elehear app on top and then the volume adjuster on the bottom, and then it automatically minimizes the pink noise, which is nice. So all I have to do is mute the mic and then swipe up to minimize or close out of that pair. And the volume limiter will run in the background too with the pink noise. So every time I use these, I have to do that, and that's kind of annoying. I can't really use it for music or Bluetooth for watching movies and stuff because sound quality is not that great, especially with the backs, the open back design. So I usually have to take the hearing aids out, turn all those apps off, put in my earbuds, and turn the ANC on that, and then do it all over again on my lunch breaks every single day. It's a pain in the ass, but this is how I deal with it. Anywho, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.